Hi, I'm Adrianne. I'm one of the yoga teachers here at La Coralina Island House. Today I'll be guiding you through a Vinyasa practice, a little bit of a stronger flow this morning. We will start a little bit less intensity and then build up that intensity as we move throughout this short practice. You may want to have a block handy in case you need a little bit of extra support. Please modify as you need to and take breaks when you need to. Hope you enjoy the practice. So hi, we'll get started today standing up. So we'll just start at the top of your mat. Go ahead and ground your feet. So lifting up your toes, pressing all four corners of your feet into the mat, and then lower those toes down one by one. So a nice soft bend in the knees. So just taking the time to arrive on your mat, grounding down through your feet. And we'll take a deep inhale, roll those shoulders up towards your ears and then back and down. Opening up through the front of the chest, and we'll do it again. Deep inhale, squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears. And then as you exhale, draw them back and down one more time. Deep inhale, squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears. And then back and down as you open up through the chest. Let the hands fall towards your sides, palms open toward the front. Just grounding down through your feet a little bit more. Connecting to your mat and connecting to your practice. Letting your ears soften, or your shoulders soften away from your ears. Just taking this time to arrive. So checking in with your body always, just noticing how it's feeling, any injuries you may be nursing, stress you may be holding on to, and can you soften your shoulders just a little bit more? Softening your forehead just a little more. Your jaw just a tiny bit more. And just noticing any tension you may be holding. Just noticing where you need to send a little bit of extra love, attention, breath as you move throughout your practice. Modifying where you need to. Noticing thoughts, are they wandering? Are they present? And then just noticing your breath. So bringing that awareness to your breath as you inhale deeply through the nose. And exhaling completely through the nose. And take a few more rounds of breath here before we start. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. As you exhale, releasing any little bit of tension you still may be holding on to. One more deep inhale here. And fully exhale. To start, we'll take a deep inhale, reach the arms up overhead, lengthening front side of the body, and then we'll take a little side bend towards your left side. So interlace the fingers, flip the palms up towards the sky, taking a little bit of a wiggle side to side here. Inhale one more time to lengthen and take a side bend over towards your left. So grounding down through the right foot as you lean towards your left. Inhale to come back up, and then we take a little bit of a twist. So left arm opens up towards the side, back into the right towards the front. Big circle forward with the left arm, reach it back up towards the sky, interlace the fingers and reach them up. And then we take that side bend over toward the right. So leaning into the left foot as you lean the arms toward the right. Inhale to come back up, and then turn towards your right, and then open up into a little bit of a twist. Right hand back, left hand forward. Big circle forward with the arms. Deep inhale, reach the arms up, lift and lengthen. And then this time we take the left hand toward the side, and we'll take that right foot out and just pass it behind the left foot. So inhale, right arm reaches up. We lean over toward the left side, lengthening right side of the body. Inhale to come back up, reset the foot. Left arm reaches up, left hand tucks in behind the right, and we take that side bend over toward the right. Inhale to come back up, reset the foot, left hand reaches up. So take a deep inhale. This time we're taking that side bend over toward the left, right arm reaches up. Leaning into that right foot, left hand slides down the left side of the leg, and from here we take a nice big circle forward. So landing in a forward fold, bending your knees as much as you need to here. Inhale to take a halfway lift, and then exhaling to fold it forward. Stay in that fold, maybe giving yourself a little sway side to side. Let your head go. Take one more inhale here. Fully exhale, releasing into that fold, and then from here we start to roll up, so stacking each vertebrae on top of each vertebrae, bending into the knees. Shoulders, hands, head super heavy. Roll them back when you get to the top, opening up through the chest. Inhale, reach the arms up, lift and lengthen. We go to the right side this time. Right hand reaches up, left hand reaches up overhead, taking that side bend over toward your right. Big inhale there, and then as we exhale, we take that big circle forward with the hand landing in that forward fold. Stay there. Take a little sway side to side, loosening up into the low back, bending into your knees, and then straightening out, finding stillness in that fold. Deep inhale, fully exhale. And from here, we start to roll up, stacking each vertebrae on top of each vertebrae, gently rolling up on that inhale, rolling the shoulders back and down. This time we interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades as you lift through the chest. Take a deep inhale, soften the bend in the knees, and as you exhale, we fold it forward. Bending into those knees, letting those hands come away from the hips as much as you would like. So staying in that fold, let your head release, bending your knees as much as you need to here to rest your chest on your legs. Take one more inhale. And then releasing the hands toward the mat, and then grabbing onto opposite elbows here, taking a little sway side to side in ragdoll, or staying in stillness if you would like. So letting your head, everything be super heavy, maybe a slight bounce up and down, whatever feels good to you, or staying in stillness. Maybe shaking your head yes, maybe shaking your head no, and then everything dangle toward the mat. So staying in that fold just for a moment, letting everything in the back side of the body lengthen, slight tuck of that tailbone. And from here we start to roll up, so bending your knees, rolling up through each vertebrae of the spine, rolling those shoulders back and down. As you inhale, open up through the chest, let the hands land toward the sides, standing up nice and tall, soft bend in the knees. Deep inhale, reach the arms up to lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold it forward. Halfway lift on your inhale. And then bending your knees, we step back into plank pose. First, pausing there, slight tuck of the tailbone as you press into the mat to find that plank pose. From here, we're gonna find gate pose. So drop that left knee and then kick it out toward the side. So pivoting that right foot so it's parallel with the front of the mat. And then inhale to come up into your gate pose, grounding down through that right foot. From here, right hand reaches toward that right leg. Inhale, left arm reaches up, and we take that side body opening toward that right. Inhale to come back up, both hands behind your head. Don't interlace them, keep them nice and light. Deep inhale there. And then as you exhale, we lean towards the left, and then we take a little bit of a twist. Inhale to open back up, and then exhale to come up. Right hand reaches up, left arm up, right arm reaches toward the leg, left arm reaches up and overhead. We do that 2 more times. Inhale to come back up, both hands behind your head. Deep inhale there, exhale to lean. 1 more inhale, we take that bit of a twist as we exhale. Inhale to straighten it back out, and then coming back up, right hand to the thigh, left hand reaches up overhead. 1 more time. Inhale into that T, hands behind your head. Leaning toward the left, we take an inhale here, exhale to twist. Inhale to straighten it back up. As you come up, right hand lands, left hand reaches up overhead. Stay in that side bend, opening up left side of the body here, sliding that right hand a little further down that leg if you would like. 1 more inhale there. And then slowly coming back up, both hands come toward the mat. We pivot the foot, and then we land back into a downward facing dog. So bending into the knees, we walk it out. Sending those hips back. Grounding down through those hands, walking out your dog. And then from here, finding stillness there, roll it forward back into your plank, land that plank pose. Deep inhale here. And then lowering the right knee, kick that right leg out behind you, ground down through that left foot. Inhale to lift up, landing with those T-arms. So we take that side bend, so left hand reaches toward the left thigh, right arm reaches up, and then overhead. Inhale to come back to center, hands behind your head. Deep inhale as you lift the chest, and we take that little lean over toward the right, and then we take that little bit of a twist. Inhale to untwist, coming back up, taking that side bend, left hand down, right hand overhead. Inhale, hands into a T, hands behind your head. Deep inhale, taking that lean toward the right, and as you exhale, take that twist. Inhale to open, lifting back up, left hand lands, right hand overhead. 1 more time. Inhale to come back up, landing those fingertips, leaning toward your right. Exhale to take that twist. Inhale to open it back up. This time we stay in that side bend. Right hand reaches up, landing that left hand down, right hand up overhead. One more inhale there. And then slowly coming back up, both hands reach toward the mat. We land it, stepping back into downward facing dog, landing there, drawing that belly in toward the chest, slight tuck of the tailbone, bending your knees as much as you need to here. Finding any movement you may need or staying in stillness. One more inhale. Looking forward to the front of your mat, walking to the front of your mat, traveling forward. Once you get there, take a halfway lift, and then exhaling to fold. Inhale to rise up, sweep your arms up overhead or roll, it's up to you. And then hands through heart center, landing at the front of your mat, feeling that little bit of a warmth. Letting your hands fall toward the sides, palms facing forward, just reconnecting your feet to the mat here. So we start to move through the main part of our practice, building up the intensity as we go. Inhale, reach the arms up, lift, and then exhaling to fold it forward. Take a halfway lift on your inhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, we step back into plank. Don't rush this. Hug those elbows in as you lower. We'll take it all the way down to the mat. Inhale to peel up into cobra. You can keep it low or take it high. And then move the chest forward as you lower. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Starting on the left side, we inhale the left leg up. Maybe opening up that left hip, bending into that left knee. Then recenter that hip. Hug the left knee in toward the chest. We hold there, really pressing into the mat, rounding through the spine. One more inhale, and then step that left foot forward, crescent lunge. Right heel stays lifted. Inhale to lift up, finding that length. And then as you exhale, we find the depth. So grounding down through both feet, crown of the head reaching up towards the sky, nice and energetic through those fingers. One more inhale there. We take a big peel open with that right foot to land in a warrior two. So settling into your feet, shoulders away from the ears. Settling into warrior two. One more inhale there. We find side angle pose next. So reaching forward with that left hand, left elbow comes to the thigh. Take a big sweep back and forward with that right arm to reach that right arm up overhead. Take one more inhale there. And then nice and slow, we take it into reverse. So right hand reaches up and back, and then the left hand reaches up overhead. Staying there as you breathe into the left side body, opening up. One more inhale there. We straighten out through that left leg, reverse triangle pose here, and then straightening that body out, walking that right foot in a small amount, landing with an upright position. And from here we find triangle pose. So sticking that right hip out, sending it toward the back of the mat as you hinge forward. Left hand lands toward the front foot, right arm opens up. Now you can look up at that hand if you would like, that's up toward the sky, or you can keep that neck neutral, or look down toward that front foot, wherever your neck is happy. One more inhale there. And then nice and slow, we rebend into that left knee, and we bring both hands down toward the mat. The right foot is gonna pivot up, so the heel is lifted. We find easy twist, so fingertips down or to a block. Left hand reaches up overhead. Finding that twist. One more inhale. And then we lower the right knee toward the mat, and we lift up into that Anjaneyasana or low lunge. Inhale here, exhaling. We take that left hand back, finding a little bit of a reverse. Left hand can come to your low back or toward the back leg. Right arm reaches up and overhead. You take your back bend as deep as you would like. Big circle forward with the arms, land the hands, stepping back into plank. Downward facing dog first. Here's where you decide if you would like to take a vinyasa or you stay here. Okay, so option to stay here, or you shift forward into plank, squeezing those elbows in as you lower. You can take it all the way down or hover, inhale into cobra, and then exhale, moving the chest forward as you lower, downward facing dog from here. When you're ready, right side, inhale the right leg up, bending into that right knee if that feels good to you, opening up through that top hip. One more inhale. Re-square off that hip, step that right foot or the right knee in toward the chest, pause there, hugging those knees in toward the chest. One more inhale, and step that right foot forward, crescent lunge, grounding down through that left foot, lifting into the heel, inhaling to lift. Then exhale, we ground down through those feet as we settle into that low lunge. One more inhale there. And then nice and slow, we peel open to land in that warrior two. So grounding down through that left foot, parallel with the back of the mat, shoulders away from the ears, landing there. One more inhale, and we find side angle pose. So reaching the right hand forward, landing that right elbow toward the knee, and then the left arm reaches up overhead. Take one more inhale, and take a big circle with that hand to reach the hand forward, and then open up through that top shoulder. You can look up toward the hand, you can look towards keep your neck neutral, or you can look towards that foot. One more inhale there, making some space between your shoulder and that right ear. And then we find reverse warrior. So lifting up, right hand reaches up and back, taking it into reverse warrior there. So option to look down at that foot, sliding that left hand toward your thigh. One more inhale there, straighten out that right leg, reverse triangle. Then coming back up, those hands in a T, adjust your feet as you need to, and then leaning forward into triangle pose, finding your hinge. Right hand comes toward the thigh, left hand up towards the sky, opening up through that top arm. Again, option to look up at the hand, option to keep neck neutral, or looking down at that foot. Using a block for the hand if you need to. One more inhale. Looking down toward that right foot, rebend the left knee, or right knee, sorry. Landing both hands down, pivoting the left foot. So finding easy twist. Left fingertips either come to a block or to the mat. Right hand peels open towards the sky. Easy twisting lunge there. One more inhale. And then lower the left knee. Finding Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Both hands reach up towards the sky. And exhaling, we sink it in. We find that reverse. So the right hand's gonna reach back, left hand up overhead. So option to take that hand back toward the leg or keep it supporting on your low back. Left hand reaches up. One more inhale, slowly untwisting. And then both hands come toward the mat. We step back into plank pose, downward facing dog first. You decide if you're staying here or taking that vinyasa. If you are, shifting it forward into plank, lowering down, your choice, cobra or upward dog. Pulling your chest forward and through. Downward facing dog. When you're ready, stay here. Deep inhale. Exhaling fully. 2 more rounds of breath here. Inhale deeply. Exhaling fully. 1 more deep inhale. When you're ready, coming up onto your toes, bending your knees, looking forward. Hop, step, or jump, landing softly at the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhaling to fold it forward. Inhale to rise up. Sweep your arms up overhead, growing nice and tall. Hands through heart center. So this round, similar postures. We add a little bit of balance in there. So please modify as you need to. Option to repeat any of the poses that we have already done and not take the more intense variation of it. It's your practice. Please adjust as you need to. When you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up to lift and lengthen, exhaling to fold. Halfway lift your inhale. Bend your knees, plant your hands. We make our way back into plank. And then we lower down for that chaturanga, your choice. Upward dog or cobra, pulling your chest forward and through. Downward facing dog, hips towards the sky. Left side, inhale that left leg up, opening up that top hip if that you like. And then recenter those hips. Hug the left knee in toward the chest. Pause there. Stepping left foot forward, crescent lunge. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhaling, we settle. Take 1 more inhale there. And then we lean to balance on that left foot. We're gonna find a Shiva squat. So hands toward the heart center. Walk that right foot in a tiny bit. Right knee is gonna tap the back of the left leg. We hold there in that Shiva squat. You choose how deep you wanna squat. Take 1 more inhale, finding that balance, grounding down through that left foot. And then from here, we step back into warrior two. So big step back with that right foot, parallel with the back of the mat, opening up into that warrior two position, sinking it in. 1 more deep inhale there. Fully exhale, side angle pose. So option to take the elbow toward the knee or you hover it. So we'll land elbow to knee first, landing elbow toward that right leg. Right arm reaches up and overhead. Finding your length first. So option to stay here, grounding down through both feet or take a deep inhale, lighten that left arm, and then send that left arm up, reaching forward. So option to use that elbow for support on that leg or hold this more intense version of the pose. One more inhale there. And then slowly we come up and we find that reverse. So right hand reaches back, left arm reaches up. One more inhale there. We straighten that right leg. And then from here we find triangle pose, walking that right foot in a small amount, hinging forward from the hip. Left hand reaches down, right arm reaches up. Option to stay here, fully supported, or if you're coming into the more intense version of the pose, inhale to lift halfway. Send that left hand forward, right arm reaches up, forward, overhead. Holding that more powered triangle pose, soft bend in that standing knee, in that left knee. One more inhale there. Looking down toward the left foot, soft bend in the knee, and then we pivot that right foot to reach up, so coming into arrowhead lunge from there. Holding that 45-degree angle roughly, hands reaching up overhead. We take one more inhale there, and then we land that right hand toward the mat. Don't let it touch down or let it. Your practice, left hand reaches up overhead for that hovering, easy twist. One more inhale there. Option to drop that right knee or come up into that twisted revolved lunge. Right hand reaches up and overhead, left hand reaches back. One more inhale there. Big circle forward with the hands, landing them down, stepping back into plank. Downward facing dog first. You choose, are you staying here or roll it forward into plank? Taking that vinyasa, lifting forward, pulling your chest forward and through, and then downward facing dog when you're ready. Stay there, deep inhale, and exhaling fully. Inhale to lift that right leg up, bending into the right knee, opening up through that top hip if that feels good to you, and then re-squaring off those hips. Deep inhale as you send that right leg back, and then hug the right knee in toward the chest. Pause there. One more inhale, and then step that right foot forward, crescent lunge. Inhale to lift up, and then exhaling to settle it in. One more inhale there. And hands to heart center, we find that Shiva squat, so leaning forward into that right leg, and then walk that left foot in, tiny bit of a step in, left knee tucks and taps the back of that right leg. We hold. So make sure that right knee hip is not sticking out toward the side. You choose how deep you take this. One more nice deep inhale. Big step back to land in your warrior two, pivoting the foot parallel with the back of the mat, landing it there. Deep inhale, we hold. Exhaling fully, shoulders away from the ears. Side angle pose, finding elbow to knee placement first, elbow toward that thigh, left hand reaches up, and then overhead. Option to stay there or lighten that elbow and then send that right hand forward. So keeping that nice neutral spine. Both hands reach up and overhead, or take that supported version of the pose. Take one more inhale there. And then slowly lifting both arms up towards the sky, finding that reverse. Left hand down, right hand up overhead. One more inhale, straightening that right leg, reverse triangle. Both hands reach up towards that T position, looking forward to the front of the mat. So adjust your feet as much as you need to, hinging forward from the hips, finding triangle pose, right hand toward the leg, left hand towards the sky. Grounding down through that left foot. Option to stay here, or inhale to lift halfway. Right hand reaches up forward, left hand reaches forward, finding that more powered variation of triangle pose, watching that right knee that it's not hyperextending. One more inhale. Looking down toward that right foot, rebend the knee, slowly start to pivot into that arrowhead lunge. Tricky little transition there. One more inhale. Left hand toward the mat, right hand peels open towards the sky, hovering easy twists, or please place those fingertips down. One more inhale. Option to drop that left knee, or we lift back up into that twisting revolve lunge, right hand toward the back, left hand up overhead. One more inhale there. Big cartwheel forward with the hands, landing them, stepping back into plank. Downward facing dog first, you decide. Last vinyasa, shifting it forward into plank, lowering down. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog when you're ready. Hips towards the sky. Walk it out. Take any movement you may need. Shifting it side to side. And then when you're ready, finding child's pose. So rolling it forward, taking your knees toward the mat. Take your knees nice and wide, toes together to touch. Let your hips fall toward the mat. Letting your chest melt forward, forehead toward the mat. Let your hands be super loose. Just letting everything resettle here. Let your heart rate come down, your respiratory rate start to slow if it got a little bit elevated. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, just shifting your hands back towards your feet. And then tucking your legs under to come forward into a seated posture. So coming into Paschimottanasana here. So extending both legs, sitting up nice and tall, flexing into your feet. So rolling those shoulders back and down, landing in Dandasana first, that seated staff pose. And then from here, take a deep inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhaling to fold it forward any amount that you would like. So bending your knees as much as you need to here, moving your chest towards your thighs, chest towards your feet, keeping that nice long spine. Doesn't matter if you reach your feet, you can take your hands to the sides of your legs, wherever you can reach is perfect. Take one more inhale, lift halfway. And then exhale to fold it forward. Let your head round, your body round, forehead come toward the knees. One more inhale there. Nice and slow, slowly walking yourself back up, and we make our way onto our back. So shifting your hips forward, bending into your knees to land on your back. Once you get there, go ahead and hug your knees into the chest, giving yourself a nice big hug and Apanasana here. It's rocking side to side. If that movement feels good to you, giving yourself a little bit of a massage. And then when you're ready, finding stillness, and we find happy baby. So opening up those knees toward the sides, feet up towards the sky, either grabbing onto the back of the legs, grabbing onto the ankles, grabbing onto the outside of the feet, letting those knees come toward the armpits, lowering those hips toward the mat, grounding down there. Option to find a little bit of movement here or just stay in stillness. One more inhale here. And then nice and slow, slowly bringing those feet down toward those glutes, hugging those knees in, and then lowering the feet toward the mat. So taking them to the outer edges of your mat, and let your knees fall in just for a moment. Let your hands fall toward the sides. And then from here, opening up through the knees, and we take a little bit of a windshield wipe side to side. So let your knees fall toward one side, bringing them back to center, and then over toward the other. Slight tuck of the tailbone there as you move. And this time as you come toward your left, we're gonna let them land there in a twist. So bring your hands into a T, a cactus, whatever feels good to you, letting both knees fall toward the left side. So option to take that left foot and place it over top of the right to help deepen those sensations that you're feeling in that twist. And if this twist doesn't feel good to you, you can always adjust it, find one that works. One more inhale. And then nice and slow, if that foot was on top of that leg, slowly release it, bringing those legs back up, and then take a little bit of a rock side to side, windshield wipering those legs. And the next time you come to the right, let both knees fall over towards your right side. So slight tuck of that tailbone underneath. Option to take that right foot over top of that left thigh to deepen those sensations in the leg that you may be feeling. 2 more rounds of breath. We hold. Then nice and slow, if that foot was on top of that thigh, slowly release it. Bring those legs back in. Rocking those legs side to side one more time. One last time, we find Apanasana. So hug both knees in toward the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Deep inhale here. Maybe curling those head and shoulders up to tuck into a nice tight little ball. And then when you're ready, extend both legs. Arms, send them nice and long, taking a nice big stretch there. Maybe a little wiggle side to side, and then when you're ready, settling in for Shavasana. So we'll spend a few minutes here in Shavasana. You spend as much time as you would like. Even if I've moved, you spend more time there, that's your practice. So take a deep inhale, lift up that left shoulder, and then tuck that left shoulder blade underneath. We'll do it again on the right side. So we're lifting up through that right shoulder, tuck that right shoulder back, and then adjusting your hips like you need to, hands as you need to, landing in that restful position in Shavasana. So closing your eyes or softening your gaze here. Softening through the forehead, letting your eyes be heavy, your jaw be heavy. Unstick your tongue from the roof of the mouth. Gentle rise and fall of your belly as you breathe, uncontrolled. Finding stillness in your fingers and your toes, wrists and ankles. Feeling fully supported by your mat and everything that holds us up. So taking these last few moments of our practice to find stillness and peace in Shavasana. And again, spending as much time as you need to here. Settling into silence and stillness. Staying in stillness here for a few more moments if you would like, taking as much time as you need in Shavasana. If you're ready to move, you can go ahead, start to wiggle your fingers, your toes, wrists, ankles, bringing some movement back to your body. Maybe taking a big stretch, reaching the arms up overhead, hands away from feet, feet away from hands. And then when you're ready, rolling onto one side, whichever side you happen to like the best. Landing into that fetal position, just pausing there on your side, keeping those eyes closed or gaze soft. Just take a few moments there to hug yourself in nice and tight. Landing in that nice, tucked in, protective posture. And then when you're ready, pressing your way up to a comfortable seated position, Sukhasana, at the top of your mat. Landing in a seated position, just keeping your eyes closed or your gaze soft there just for a moment. Settling into your seat, letting your hands fall wherever they'd like to land, shoulders softened away from your ears. And then from here, we take a big inhale, reaching those arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bring your hands into your heart center. Maybe you bow your head here. Thank you for practicing with me today. I'm very honored to have guided your practice. I hope you enjoyed. May you have peace in your mind, love, peace, and kindness in your heart. Namaste.